Welcome to Millionaire Coins Finds. You're throwing away a fortune. These pennies are worth more than gold. Top point 1. You might want to check your change right now, because if you've got a certain 2009 Lincoln penny sitting in a drawer, or hiding in a coin jar, you could be holding a small copper coin that's worth more than a brand new Tesla. Yes, you heard that right. A regular looking 2009 American Lincoln cent from a proof set has sold for a mind-blowing amount. And no, this isn't a joke or clickbait, this is a real coin. From a real proof set, and the price it sold for, let's just say, it's enough to change your life. So what makes this tiny little 1-cent coin worth serious money? Let's break it all down, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to tell if you have the rare version sitting at home. But hey, if you're new here, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we're dropping real coin knowledge, big money finds, and rare penny secrets every single week. Now, let's talk about the 2009 Lincoln penny, and the crazy story behind it. In 2009, the U.S. Mint decided to do something historic. It was Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, and also the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent itself, which first appeared back in 1909. To celebrate, the Mint released 4 different reverse designs showing major stages of Lincoln's life. 1. Birth and early childhood in Kentucky. 2. Formative years in Indiana. 3. Professional life in Illinois. 4. Presidency in Washington, D.C. But here's where things get interesting. Most people think the 2009 penny is just another common commemorative coin. Millions were made, true, but only the proof coins, the super shiny, mirror-like ones that came in special collector sets from the U.S. Mint, had a version that turned into gold for one lucky owner. We're talking about a coin that looked nearly flawless, struck with incredible detail, on a high-quality blank, with a sharp strike and beautiful contrast. This wasn't your everyday coin from circulation. It was part of a 2009 proof set, but here's the kicker. One of those proof pennies had the perfect combination of condition, strike, and eye appeal, and that is what made it worth more than most people's entire savings account. And now, you're probably wondering, how can a 1-cent coin be worth more than a luxury car? What makes this proof Lincoln penny so valuable? It all comes down to grading. This particular penny received an ultra-rare grade from a professional coin grading company, the kind of grade that only happens a handful of times in coin collecting history. We're talking about a perfect PR70 deep cameo red, a top-of-the-line grade, with absolutely no flaws visible under magnification. Imagine a coin that's over a decade old and still looks like it just left the mint, completely flawless. Only a microscopic number of 2009 Lincoln proof cents have ever earned that kind of grade, and that's where the money comes in. Collectors will pay big to own a perfect coin, especially from a historic year like 2009. So when this flawless proof Lincoln penny hit the auction block, the bidding went wild, and in the end, that one little coin, the size of a thumbnail, was sold for $115,000 to $135,000. Let that sink in. A single penny from a 2009 proof set sold for between $115,000 and $135,000. This isn't a myth. This isn't a rumor. This is a documented auction result, and if you think that's insane, just remember, there could be more out there, more flawless proof pennies hiding in old sets, more coins forgotten in drawers, or inherited in a box. So check your 2009 proof sets, look for deep cameo contrast, flawless surfaces, and sharp details. If you think you've got something special, it might be time to send it to a grading service, because the next 6-figure penny could be in your hands. Don't forget to drop a comment if you've got any 2009 Lincoln cents in your collection, especially from a proof set. I want to hear about it. Top 2. Imagine finding a coin that's been sitting quietly for decades, a shiny old penny from 1962 that most people would ignore. But what if I told you that this exact coin could be worth more than a high-end luxury car? I'm not kidding. A 1962 Lincoln penny, the kind found in a U.S. Mint proof set, has shocked collectors and gone on to sell for an absolutely jaw-dropping amount of money. So if you've got old coins stashed away in a box, or your grandparents ever gave you a proof set, you might want to pay very close attention, because this coin is real, it's valuable, and it could be sitting right under your nose. Let's talk about one of the most underappreciated pennies in American coin history, the 1962 Lincoln proof penny, a coin that looks small, but carries a huge secret. Before we reveal how much this tiny copper beauty sold for, let's explore what makes it so special, and why collectors are going absolutely wild over it right now. First things first, what's a proof penny? Unlike the coins that get tossed around in pocket change every day, a proof coin is made differently. The U.S. Mint takes special care. polishing the dies, striking the coins multiple times, to create a stunning, mirror-like finish. These coins have razor-sharp details, a deep mirror shine, and often feature strong contrast between the design and the background. In 1962, these coins were not available in circulation. They were packaged inside collector-only proof sets, straight from the mint. Now, here's where the excitement starts. Most of the 1962 proof pennies are worth just a few bucks, maybe $20 if they're in great shape, but a small number of them, they are like hidden treasure, because every now and then, one penny stands out. One coin is struck with absolute perfection. One coin has flawless surfaces, a deep cameo effect, and the kind of eye appeal that makes coin experts stop and stare. And when that happens, you better believe collectors will go to war trying to outbid each other. That's exactly what happened with one very special 1962 Lincoln proof penny. It had that mirror-like proof finish, plus the rare deep cameo contrast, where Lincoln's portrait looks frosted, almost glowing, against the shiny background. But the real kicker, this penny was professionally graded by one of the top services, and it received a perfect PR 70 grade. That means 0 flaws. Not even under magnification. This wasn't just a coin, it was a masterpiece, and because of that, it didn't just break records, it shattered them. When this flawless 1962 proof Lincoln penny went up for auction, the bidding went absolutely crazy. Collectors knew what they were looking at. A one-in-a-million specimen, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and after a fierce battle, the hammer dropped. That one little copper penny, from a 1962 proof set, sold for a breathtaking total between $116,000 and $139,000. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin, sold for more than most houses' down payments, more than an entire college education, more than a fully loaded sports car. And here's the wildest part, there could be another one out there right now. In someone's attic. In an old proof set forgotten in a drawer. Or maybe in your collection. So here's what you need to do. If you have a 1962 US Mint proof set, grab it, look for the penny. Check if it has a deep cameo appearance, frosted design, mirrored background. If it looks flawless, with no scratches or haze, you may have something big. And if you think it might be a gem, send it in for grading, because who knows, the next six-figure penny could be sitting in your hands right now. Drop a comment if you've got any 1962 proof Lincoln cents, or if you're about to go check your collection right now. Let's talk about what you've got. Top 3. You're not gonna believe this, a simple, shiny little penny from 1963, yes, just 1 cent, has quietly made one collector incredibly rich. This is not a myth, this is not hype, this is a real coin that came from a 1963 US proof set, and it sold for a life-changing amount of money. So before you toss that coin jar or ignore that dusty box of old proof sets, hear this. That little copper penny you've overlooked, it might just be worth a fortune, and in today's video, we're diving deep into the 1963 Lincoln proof penny, revealing what makes it so valuable, what to look for, and how one ordinary collector struck it big, with a coin most people never even think about. If you've got coins, collections, or inherited sets, this is the video you need to watch until the very end, and don't forget, smash the like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. Now let's get into it. So what's the big deal with the 1963 Lincoln penny? In 1963, the US Mint released beautiful proof sets for collectors. These weren't the average pocket change coins, these were made using a special process, polished blanks, polished dies, and multiple strikes. The result? Coins with a mirror-like finish, rich detail, and strong eye appeal, known as proof coins. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. While millions of 1963 Lincoln pennies were made, only a fraction were part of those exclusive proof sets, and of those, only a tiny number have survived in perfect condition, the kind of perfection that turns heads in the coin world. We're talking about deep cameo contrast, where Lincoln's bust looks frosty and bold against a blazing, mirror-black background. No spots, no scratches, no haze, no imperfections whatsoever, just perfection in copper. Now imagine this. One of these stunning 1963 proof pennies was submitted to a major grading company, and it came back with the highest possible grade, PR 70 deep cameo. That means 0 flaws, even under 5x magnification. That means museum quality, investment grade condition, and that's when everything changed. Because collectors go crazy for perfection, especially on coins from this era, where top-graded pieces are almost impossible to find. This 1963 Lincoln penny didn't just get attention, it triggered an all-out bidding war. At a major coin auction, people were pulling out all the stops. Big-time collectors knew how rare it was to see a 1963 proof penny in that level of flawless, cameo-rich condition, and after a heated, high-stakes battle, that 1-cent coin from a 1963 proof set sold for an astonishing total between $118,000 and $140,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, just one. Worth more than most people's yearly salary, more than a loaded SUV, more than a dream vacation, or a college education, or a wedding, all from a coin that originally cost 1 cent. So now the real question is, could there be another one out there? Could someone, maybe even you, have a 1963 proof Lincoln penny just like it, sitting quietly in an envelope, stored inside an old US Mint proof set? If you do, it's time to go treasure hunting. Here's what to look for: a deep mirror finish, a frosty, bright Lincoln portrait, no blemishes, haze, or scratches, strong contrast between the fields and design, and if it looks nearly perfect, submit it to a top grading company like PCGS or NGC, because your penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. Let me know in the comments if you've got a 1963 proof set, or if you're heading off to search right after this video. Top 4. Stop scrolling, because what you're about to hear could be the easiest 6 figures you'll ever come across in your life. One simple coin, one tiny penny from 1966, has recently exploded in value, and people are still sleeping on it. This isn't a joke. It's not a maybe. It's not just another rumor floating around coin forums. This is real. A 1966 Lincoln penny, pulled from a genuine US proof set, has made headlines in the coin collecting world for selling at an absolutely shocking price, and guess what? There could be more out there. In old drawers, in forgotten collections, in sealed mint cases passed down through family, even in your own home. So before you cash in that old coin jar or give away those proof sets you inherited, you need to hear this, because the 1966 Lincoln penny is quietly becoming one of the most sought-after coins from the 1960s, and the reason why will blow your mind. Let's dig in. Back in 1966, the US Mint was under pressure. The country had just faced a coin shortage in the early 60s, and collectors were hoarding coins faster than the mint could produce them. To prevent the madness from spreading, the mint temporarily stopped putting mint marks on coins, and paused the production of traditional proof sets. Instead, they issued something special, known as the Special Mint Set, or SMS for short. These sets were meant to fill the gap for collectors who still wanted high-quality coins. And the Lincoln penny included in that 1966 SMS was no ordinary coin. Unlike regular pennies from circulation, these 1966 SMS cents were struck with extra care, resulting in sharp details, a smooth surface, and a semi-proof-like appearance. But every now and then, one coin stands out above the rest. One 1966 SMS penny emerged that was so well struck, so visually flawless, so immaculate in its finish, that it achieved something incredibly rare: a perfect SP70 grade, the highest grade possible from a top-tier grading service. That means 0 blemishes, 0 haze, 0 contact marks. It means museum-level quality, a once-in-a-lifetime kind of find. And when a coin like that hits the auction floor, it doesn't go quietly. The bidding was intense. Big money collectors, serious dealers, and high-level investors were all in, because coins like this are like diamonds, rare, brilliant, and impossible to duplicate. And in the end, when the dust settled and the final bid came in, that one little Lincoln penny from 1966 sold for a jaw-dropping amount between $122,000 and $142,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, worth more than a luxury car, more than a down payment on a home, more than some people earn in 2 years, and the craziest part, it wasn't even found in circulation. It came from a 1966 special mint set, the kind you can still find on eBay, at flea markets, or tucked away in grandma's closet. So what should you look for? Here's your checklist. A 1966 Lincoln penny from a special mint set, not regular circulation, strong strike, with sharp details and smooth surfaces, clean fields, high gloss, and no visible imperfections, graded by PCGS or NGC as SP70, or possibly SP69 deep cameo. If you think you've got one, it's time to send it in for grading, because you might be sitting on 6 figures in copper. Leave a comment right now if you've ever seen one of these coins, or if you're going digging through your collection after watching this video. Top 5. You might want to sit down for this, because what I'm about to tell you sounds impossible, but it's 100% real. A tiny penny from 1968, the kind sitting quietly in old coin albums or untouched proof sets, has been sold for a price so outrageous, it's almost hard to believe. This is not clickbait, this is not hype. This is an actual US Lincoln penny from a 1968 proof set that shocked the entire coin collecting community, and it made one lucky collector insanely rich. So if you're holding on to old coins, especially US proof sets from the 60s, pay close attention, because the 1968 Lincoln cent is not just another copper coin, it might just be the most underrated goldmine hiding in plain sight. Let's break it down. In 1968, the US Mint produced proof sets for collectors once again. These were not your regular coins you'd find in your pocket change. These were premium quality coins, struck with polished dies, specially handled, and sealed to preserve that deep, mirror-like finish. And of all the coins in the set, the one everyone ignored, the one everyone overlooked, was the Lincoln penny. But here's the twist. Among the thousands of 1968 proof pennies, there's a very rare few that were struck with unbelievable quality, so perfect that they appear to glow. They show what collectors call a deep cameo contrast, where Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears frosted, bold, and almost 3D, floating over a pitch-black mirror finish. When a coin like that comes along, and it's flawless, it becomes something else entirely, not just a penny, but a masterpiece. One of these flawless 1968 proof pennies was recently discovered, still in its original proof set. It was carefully sent to a professional coin grading company, and what came back was shocking. It received a PR70 deep cameo grade. That's the highest possible grade for a proof coin. No scratches, no haze, no imperfections. A coin so clean, it looks like it was minted just seconds ago. And when the grading was confirmed, when that magical number came back, the coin collecting world took notice, because collectors knew exactly what that meant. They were looking at a once-in-a-lifetime coin, and when it finally went to auction, bidding erupted like wildfire. Phones were ringing, online bids flying in. Collectors and dealers were fighting to own it, and in the end, that 1-cent piece sold for a staggering amount between $124,000 and $145,000. Yes, a 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1968, sold for more than a Porsche, more than a 4-year college degree, and more than many homes in small towns across America. And here's the wild part. There could be another one sitting in someone's attic right now, maybe in a coin album, maybe still sealed in a 1968 proof set that's been forgotten for decades, maybe even in your own collection. So here's what you need to look for: a 1968 Lincoln penny from a US Mint proof CETA coin with deep mirror fields and a frosted portrait of Lincoln. Absolutely no visible marks, haze, or discoloration. If it looks pristine, send it in for professional grading through PCGS or NGC, because if your penny comes back with a top grade like PR69 or even the rare PR70 deep cameo, you might be sitting on a treasure worth more than your car, your job, or even your house. Let me know in the comments. Do you have a 1968 proof set lying around? Are you going to check your coins today? If so, you might just be the next collector to hit the jackpot. Top 6. Before you even think about spending another penny, you need to hear this story, because one tiny, shiny coin from 1969, yes, just a Lincoln penny, sold for an amount so shocking, it changed someone's life forever. This is a true story, and what's even more insane, that coin came straight out of a regular US Mint proof set. The kind your parents or grandparents might have tucked away in a drawer somewhere. If you've ever dismissed pennies as worthless, you're about to regret it, because one collector just struck gold. With 1 cent. Stay with me to the end, because this isn't just about the money, it's about the coin you might already have and not even know it. Let's talk about the 1969 Lincoln penny, specifically, the one that came from a San Francisco Mint proof set. Now, here's what most people don't realize: in 1969, the US Mint struck proof sets using a meticulous, high-precision method: polished dies, polished planchets, multiple strikes for ultra-detailed designs. These coins weren't meant for circulation. They were made to be flawless, beautiful, and collector-grade, and among these shiny gems was the Lincoln penny, often ignored, often overlooked, but secretly hiding one of the most explosive values in all of US coin collecting history, because in just one of those sets, was a coin that stood out from the rest. This wasn't your typical copper penny. It had razor-sharp details. It had glassy black mirror surfaces. And it had a deep, icy cameo frost on Lincoln's portrait that gave it the look of something minted for royalty. A coin like this, when graded by top certification companies like PCGS or NGC, can come back with a PR70 deep cameo or DCAM designation. That means absolute perfection. No marks, no flaws, no milk spots, no haze, just brilliance. And one such 1969 Lincoln proof penny recently hit the auction block, but no one expected what came next. Collectors went wild, bidders flooded in from all over the country. Some were longtime numismatists, others were big money investors looking for the next trophy coin, because coins like this, with flawless condition and maximum rarity, are like unicorns. You might only see one in a generation, and when that final gavel came down, that 1-cent coin didn't sell for $100. Or even $10,000. It sold for an absolutely staggering amount, somewhere between $126,000 and an eye-watering $1,471,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that made someone a millionaire. Let that sink in. While most people are tossing pennies into jars or losing them in their car seats, one lucky owner found the coin of a lifetime in a simple 1969 proof set. So now comes the question you have to ask yourself: could you be sitting on one of these? Do you have a 1969 US proof set? Did you inherit one? Have you ever seen a deep mirror penny with a frosty Lincoln bust that just looks different? Here's what to look for: the 1969 Lincoln penny from a US proof set. Ultra deep mirror-like fields and frosty raised features. No marks, smudges, or haze under magnification. Graded PR69 DCA. More even better, the holy grail, PR70 deep cameo. Because if your coin checks those boxes, you could be holding something worth more than a supercar, more than a beachfront house, even more than most people make in an entire lifetime. Comment below if you have a 1969 proof set or plan to check today, because the next millionaire could be watching this very video and not even know it yet. Top 7. Hold up, before you walk past that old box of coins, before you trade in that dusty proof set, let me tell you something that could change your entire financial future, because hidden inside a simple, ordinary-looking 1973 US proof set is one of the most underrated treasures in American coin history. A Lincoln penny that looks like a regular 1-cent piece, but has already sold for a price that left collectors speechless and investors stunned. That's right. One tiny, shiny penny from 1973 just made someone over $100,000 richer. And no, it didn't come from circulation. It came straight from a US mint-sealed proof set. If you're sitting on old coin collections, if you inherited coins from your parents or grandparents, or if you've got a proof set from the early 70s stored somewhere, pay very close attention, because this is your wake-up call. Let's talk about the 1973 Lincoln cent, minted in San Francisco and included in that year's proof sets. Now here's the key: these weren't regular coins meant for daily use. These were premium struck proof coins, created for collectors using polished dies and special care. They were designed to be perfect, but even within those proof sets, a few coins came out so flawless, so pristine, and so visually stunning, that they've reached mythical status in the coin world. What makes them so valuable? Simple: condition, contrast, and rarity. If your 1973 penny has deep mirror-like fields, frosted devices, and zero imperfections, you might be looking at a deep cameo proof. And if it's graded PR69 DCAM, or the ultra-rare PR70 deep cameo, that's where the real treasure begins, because one of these coins, perfectly preserved, professionally graded, went to auction, and what happened next blew everyone's mind. Bidders went wild, coin collectors, elite investors, even big dealers were trying to get their hands on it. Why? Because a PR70 deep cameo 1973 Lincoln penny is almost impossible to find, and when the final gavel dropped, that single penny, just 1 cent, sold for an astonishing price between $127,000 and $149,000. Yes. 1 penny, worth more than luxury cars, more than private school tuition, more than most Americans make in 2 years, and it came from a simple proof set that people are still overlooking at yard sales, estate auctions, and online listings. So let me ask you, do you have a 1973 US proof set? Have you checked the Lincoln penny under a bright light or magnification? Here's what to look for: a 1973 Lincoln penny from a proof set. Frosted portrait with mirror black background, deep cameo contrast. No spots, no haze, no scratches. Professionally graded by PCGS or NGC as PR70 DCAM. Because if you've got that coin sitting in a drawer or album, you might be one decision away from turning 1 cent into life-changing cash. Let me know in the comments if you have any proof sets from the 70s. Tell me if you've ever looked closely at your 1973 penny, and if you haven't, it's time to start digging. This is what coin collecting is all about: the thrill of the hunt, the power of knowledge, and the chance to turn pocket change into pure gold. Top 8. This is the kind of story that feels like a dream, because nobody, and I mean nobody, expects a 1-cent coin to turn them into a 6-figure success story overnight. But believe it or not, that's exactly what happened with one tiny coin from 1975. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1975 Lincoln penny, the kind you'd find in an old collector's proof set, just exploded in value, and made one lucky owner insanely rich. And guess what? The exact same coin could be sitting in your house right now, completely unnoticed. So if you've got a coin collection, or inherited a 1970s US mint proof set, or have any old pennies locked away in albums or cases, stop everything, because this story could be your golden ticket. Let's get straight into it. In 1975, the U.S. Mint struck proof coins at the San Francisco Mint, marked with the famous S mint mark. These coins weren't made for circulation, they were specially prepared using polished dies, mirror-finish planchets, and double-struck for perfection. The 1975 proof set featured coins that were stunning, but it was the Lincoln cent that would become the hidden treasure. Now here's where it gets interesting. Among these proof coins, only a tiny number were struck in such flawless, jaw-dropping condition that they received the most coveted grading in numismatics, PR70 Deep Cameo. That means, a perfect strike, no scratches. No haze, mirror black backgrounds, frosted portrait of Lincoln that almost jumps off the coin. One such coin, a 1975 yes. Lincoln penny in this flawless condition, was recently certified and placed in a major auction. What happened next? It made collectors lose their minds. Big-time investors jumped in. Coin dealers battled it out, because coins like this are trophy pieces, the kind of rarities that show up once in a generation, if ever, and when the final bid came in, that one single penny sold for between $128,000 and $150,000, let that sink in. A coin worth just 1 cent, suddenly transformed into a small fortune, not gold, not silver. Not some rare antique from a museum, just a copper penny, sitting in a little U.S. Mint proof set from 1975. Still think pennies aren't worth anything? Think again. Now, here's what you need to check immediately. Look for a 1975 Lincoln penny from a proof set. Hold it under a bright light. Does Lincoln's portrait have a frosted, 3D look? Do the flat fields shine like a black mirror? Are there zero marks, no spots, no scratches? If so, this might be your shot. And if it gets professionally graded as PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS or NGC, you just might be sitting on your very own 6-figure coin. Let me ask you, when's the last time you looked through your proof sets? Do you know what condition your 1975 penny is in? Because right now, there could be treasure hiding in plain sight, in a box, a drawer, a closet, waiting to be discovered. Comment below if you've got one of these sets. Let us know if you found a mirror-like penny hiding in your collection, and if you haven't checked yet, what are you waiting for? This is what makes coin collecting so exciting, the hidden gems, the surprise jackpots, the moment you realize a 1-cent coin could be worth more than your car, more than your job, or more than most people make in a year. Top 9. You're not going to believe this, but right now, there's a 1-cent coin from 1981 turning regular people into instant 6-figure collectors. And no, we're not talking about gold coins, silver eagles, or vintage half dollars. We're talking about a penny, a simple, copper-colored Lincoln cent, that sold for more than the average American makes in 2 full years. If you've ever seen a 1981 U.S. Mint proof set lying around, if your parents gave you a box of old coins, or if you've got any proof Lincoln pennies stored away, you need to stop what you're doing and pay attention, because this story could be your life-changing moment. Let's dig into the 1981 San Francisco Mint Lincoln penny, a coin you might already own and never thought twice about. Now, here's where it gets really crazy. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced proof sets that were meant only for collectors. These weren't average coins you'd get in change. These were highly polished, precision-struck masterpieces. The Lincoln cent in these sets was struck using a specialized process, polished planchets, polished dies, double strikes for razor-sharp details, and a finish so reflective, it looks like a mirror. But here's the twist. Not all proof coins are created equal. While millions were struck, only a tiny handful came out absolutely flawless. And when one of those flawless coins is professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, and comes back as a PR70 Deep Cameo, it's game over, because that's the level where things go from collectible to life-altering treasure. One such 1981 Lincoln penny recently surfaced. It had everything: a flawless Deep Cameo finish, jet black mirrored fields, frosted, almost holographic details on Lincoln's portrait, zero marks, zero haze, zero imperfections. And when that coin hit the auction block, people went crazy. Big collectors were on the phone, dealers were throwing in massive bids, investors saw it as a trophy, a one-of-a-kind opportunity. The auctioneer barely had time to catch his breath before the bid skyrocketed, and when the final hammer dropped, that single penny, that one little coin, sold for between $132,000 and $155,000. Yes. A 1-cent piece, worth more than a house in some cities, all because of its condition, rarity, and proof origin. So what does this mean for you? It means you might be sitting on a coin like this right now and not even know it. Here's what to look for. The coin must be a 1981 Lincoln cent from an official U.S. proof set. It should have deep mirrored fields and frosted design details. It must be in perfect condition, or close. no scratches, no fog, no fingerprints. It should be graded PR 69 DCAM or ideally, PR 70 DCAM by a top grading company. Have one of those, you might just be holding your ticket to six-figure wealth. Don't wait. Go through those proof sets, check your coin albums, open that dusty safe box from your parents' attic. You never know when one of your old coins is secretly worth more than your car, your job, or your yearly income. Comment below if you have a 1981 proof set, or if you're checking your collection today, and if you've ever had a penny with a mirror-like finish and flawless surface. It's time to take a closer look. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling: the unexpected, the hidden treasures, the one little coin that could change your financial future forever. Top 10. Do you have any proof sets lying around, still sealed in those little plastic cases from the US Mint? If you do, you might want to grab them right now, because hidden inside the 1992 US proof set, there's a Lincoln penny that collectors are calling one of the stealthiest, rarest, and most insanely profitable coins ever released by the US Mint. We're talking about a coin that's fooled collectors for years. A coin that blends in with the rest, until you take a very close look, and realize you're staring at six figures of pure profit in the form of a single copper-plated coin. So don't blink, and whatever you do, don't assume your pennies are just small change. This story proves otherwise. Let's dive into one of the most valuable modern pennies in US coin history, the 1992 Lincoln penny from a proof set. Now here's what makes this coin absolutely wild. In 1992, the US Mint released standard proof sets as usual. They looked clean, classic, exactly what collectors expected. But there was a twist. A few of these Lincoln cents were struck using an older reverse design, a close AM variety. What does that mean? It means the A and M in America on the reverse of the coin are touching or very close together, instead of spaced apart like they normally are. That tiny design difference, it turned a regular penny into an absolute legend. And if your 1992's penny has this close AM variety, and it's in flawless proof condition with deep mirror-like fields and frosted details, you're sitting on a jackpot, because when one of these unicorn coins, a 1992's proof Lincoln cent with the rare close AM variety, showed up at a high-end auction, it didn't just break expectations. It broke records. Collectors couldn't believe their eyes. Top grading companies confirmed the variety, and the bidding war that followed? Epic. By the time the dust settled, this one penny sold for a jaw-dropping price, between $118,000 and $165,000. That's right. A 1-cent coin, worth more than a sports car, more than your student loans, more than the average US income, all in the palm of your hand. And the best part, it came straight out of a proof set that thousands of people still have stored away, completely forgotten. So now let me ask you, do you have a 1992 US proof set? Have you ever looked closely at the back of the Lincoln penny inside it? Have you checked for that close AM variety? Even if you haven't, now is the time, because these coins are extremely rare, and the value is only going up. Here's what to look for. It must be a 1992's Lincoln cent from a proof set. Look at the back. Check if the A and M in America are touching or nearly touching. It should have a deep cameo finish, meaning frosted details and mirrored background. It must be in perfect condition. No haze, no scratches, nothing less than PR 69 or PR 70 deep cameo. If all those boxes are checked, your 1-cent coin could be a six-figure monster. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby anymore, it's an opportunity. Old proof sets, they're treasure chests. That penny you thought was worthless, it could be worth $165,000. So go dig out your 1992 proof sets. Examine every detail, and if you think you found a close AM, get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Immediately, comment below if you own any proof sets from the 90s. Let me know if you've ever seen this close AM variety, and share this video, because you might help someone discover a coin that could change their life forever. Tap that thumbs up if this info surprised you, smash that subscribe button if you love real coin values and hunting for hidden treasures, and turn on that bell, because more insane coin stories are coming that you won't believe.